There we go. Hi, everyone. Good morning. It's 9:30 precisely, and that means New York. You just saw it there on the screen flash, right? New York has just opened. We just finished taking a nice 10-point win here from zone to zone. We had this breakout here, the zone completion trade, 10 points, and the video is on YouTube for you to watch and enjoy. And then as we often see, as a matter of fact, every day we see prices rejecting right at our zones that we had drawn for the last several hours. I send these zones out to my group hours ahead of time, and we typically see these things fulfilled just as you see here. And they're incredibly powerful. It's simple support and resistance, but knowing how to draw it properly is very important. But then knowing how to draw support and resistance is one thing, and it only takes a few minutes to learn how to do it. But extracting profits from that information and from those zones is a whole different ballgame, and what the challenge of trading really is all about, and why I'm here, and why I'm doing what I'm doing, coming out of retirement a month ago and producing now about 180 videos for you on YouTube, and starting the Telegram group and the Twitter channel and so on and so forth. Twitter channel, Twitter feed. I'm new to this whole social media thing, but I think you understand. Watching now as prices push ahead on this New York Open, really starting to rally here, but I don't care one little bit. Meaning, I'm not going to chase anything here, guys. If you've been watching my videos, you know exactly what I'm saying. I will typically wait for that first 10-minute candle to complete. In other words, for it to close before even considering taking a trade. I do take trades sometimes on the open, and I've taken 3 trades this morning, in 3 or 4 actually, in London, all winners, thankfully. That's not always the way it works, by the way, but been very choosy on my trades, and you can see that if you watch the real-time trade videos on the YouTube channels, a whole playlist of them there. And I send out my ideas ahead of time to Telegram so they can see exactly what I'm about to take, and then I film them from beginning to end, and whether they win or lose, they go onto YouTube and sometimes on Twitter, and people get to learn from them and or critique them and do whatever they want to do with them. But the support has been amazing. We have a really awesome group that just in the last 4 weeks we have built from zero to now nearly 200 members in the Telegram group, over 230 or 240 on YouTube subscribers, which is nice to see, and nearly 600 on Twitter already from zero in October, and it's now November. So I'm very flattered, honored, warmed on an emotional level, but I think people can appreciate what it means to be in their 4th decade of trading and being able to maybe possibly bring something to the table of value, having seen a great deal in the capital markets over that period. All right, you'll notice this candle now. If we got sucked into a long, because this happens to be a big candle, that was a big, strong white candle, right? 45 points in height or amplitude, now being slowly, methodically erased as we speak. I'm going to now move us over to let me put that back there. See that marker? That can now be deleted. This can be deleted because that zone was completed. This is about the zone adjustments, right? I'm going to leave these ones in place because we haven't completed this zone, and there is noise up here, and sure enough, rejected down here. Right on cue. And this circle down here was to show my group how the zone that we had drawn hours and hours and hours ago was fulfilled and rejected at right on cue again, right on cue. And that's what we look for. These consistent behaviors in the markets. We can make money from that, right? We can extract profits based on interpreting and understanding behavior patterns of the market. Can you see what's happened now? That big, strong white candle has become a very weak blue candle, or a strong blue candle if you like, heading the other way altogether. Hence the reason for me waiting for that 10-minute candle to close 99% of the time. That 10-minute candle typically becomes my opening range. This is going to be a big one, right? When I say opening range, I'm talking about something like this. This is actually the marker that I use on TradingView to show my opening range. Watching now in silence as this candle plays out. 3 minutes and 45 seconds left in it still. But look at this turnaround, guys. Looks like Czar's hammer is taking its toll. And what do I mean by Czar's hammer? Let me show you. For those who are not familiar, I'm going to give it to you now. Czar's hammer. These three colors, by the way, these are days. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. Asia, London, and New York session. Asia, London, New York, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. These are over a period of several days, as you can see. Czar's hammer is this hammer right here, and it's being hammering prices against all odds. This arrow's been getting shorter and shorter. Why? Because the distance between price and the cup has been narrowing. I tweeted out this morning that no force in the universe can withstand the power of Czar's hammer, except for my mother and my cat named Pickles. They can withstand it. A quick snapshot of that, send it to my group here while we're live together. It's always fun. The group is awesome, by the way. Guys, if you have a positive attitude and love to learn, love to share, come on by. The links are in the description. But it's Cerulean Trading, a Telegram group, and I share my trading ideas before they happen in the group. I give hints, lots of good tips, and people are learning how to take advantage of those and to profit from them. It's not a signal channel. We don't give signals. That's just not what we do. My goal is to teach people how to trade and to figure out entries and exits all by themselves by watching me trade and watching others trade. We have some very seasoned traders in our group and who are so willing to share their knowledge as well. And I love it. It's amazing. And there's no cursing, no politics, no religion, no conflict of that kind, no arguing, just awesome sharing, positivity, positive vibe, and that's what I'm all about. And I think the group senses that, and you know, I think I'm attracting people who have a like mind as well, and I think that's the important thing. We have a few basic rules, of course, in the group, and it has everything to do with not bragging or boasting or showing dollar profits and gains. We don't do any of that. We show points and percentages and pips, and so everybody can relate on the same level. We don't want to hear that you made, $5 grand, 10 grand, 100 grand today, or that you lost 15 grand, because other people can't relate to that, right? But what you did in terms of points and percentage, everybody can relate to, and extrapolate that to their own circumstances. And so everybody's on the same level, on the same page, just sharing ideas. All right, let me bring you back now from Czar's hammer all the way back to real time. 10-minute chart, boom, boom, and you guessed it, boom. We have 5 seconds left in that first 10-minute candle, right? We're gonna focus just on this 10-minute because the 1 minute's irrelevant under these circumstances. Look at that candle, guys. I mean, that is quite an expanse, right? I can assure you, I've been doing this a long time, and I can assure you that a lot of scalpers and day traders got slaughtered inside of that candle, and why I typically wait for that candle to completely and utterly close and finish, right? I'm going to delete that zone. I'm going to leave that one for now. And that's about all I'm going to do on that. Delete that one too. We'll need this thing to give us a bit more shape and personality before we start to decide what to do here. But that opening candle's a really eye-opening as well as a session-opening candle. As long as prices are inside of that candle, there's nothing for me. Unless it sets up some structure here a little bit later, and we might not be online at that point. What I'm going to do here, guys, is spare you the sideways action. I'm going to put you on pause for as long as I need to for something to set up here of consequence, and I'll bring you back on. All right? See you in a bit. Okay, guys, I'm back, and a few minutes have passed now for me, but no time for you. And we're still 23 seconds left in the second candle, and you'll see that it's basically mirroring the first candle. It's an inside candle, though, meaning that the first candle is a higher high and a higher low than the next candle, than the current candle, right? So that's an inside candle. I'm going to have to wait for what it says from there. So 4 seconds left in this candle. I'll wait for it to play out and then watch. And the reason I have these lines here, these horizontal lines, just to indicate that there is a resistance zone here from pre-Asia. It was, before 8 o'clock in the evening for me last night. That's Sunday night, right? Today's Monday. And there's another one here, right? There's not much in terms of way of participation here, so I put horizontal lines, not full-on zones, because it's less consequential. But now things are getting interesting. So what I want to do here is to delete this open range marker. I have it in my head now where the open range is. And that the marker, of course, is really for you, the viewer, until you get used to what I do, if you're interested in getting used to it. And so that's that one candle there, right? That's the height of the first 10-minute candle is the open range. I will typically expand the open range to include any support and resistance around here. Now, of course, all of these were inside of the top of the candle, so those were irrelevant. This one was significant, so this whole range really is my opening zone. But now look what's happening. We're getting that push up that I was talking about out of that open range. The key thing here will be, though, can it close outside of that? So what I'm going to do is put you back on pause so you don't have to, pardon me, deal with the grinding sideways, and I'll bring you back. Here we go. Okay, guys, I'm back. Quite a few minutes have passed now, and you can see how things have changed, right? Remember, this was pushing up. This was a strong white candle, well, for you about a second or 10 seconds ago. The whole picture changed, and now we got a blue candle, and it's kind of heading down again after being rejected in this upper zone, right? With that rejection area there, boom, rejection, rejection, rejection. There's another one above it, right? Never actually reached that yet. And now rejecting and turning blue. And so now what we're going to do is there's 3 minutes and 12 seconds left in this candle. We're going to wait for this candle to close and see if this thing actually wants to break down and come on back. So what I'm going to do here is begin to mark up our next zone of interest. And now we're dealing with this, right? This is the situation we're dealing with. There's a zone here that was that one candle. It's about 38 points, give or take, probably around 40 in total. if this candle closes blue, we might look for a pullback and then a drop back down and see if we can take a piece of action from here, right? Extract some profits from this by getting in sync with the dance that the NASDAQ wants to do, right? The NAS dance, as I call it. And I'm going to put you on pause, wait for this candle to close, and bring you back to save you some time, okay? Here we go. Okay, I'm back. Now look what's happening, right? We got 1 minute left in this candle. You'll see that it's actually pushing down. It's just about halfway through the zone. Actually, at one point, it's a little bit more than halfway. So some would feel, well, it's moving, it's going without me, right? It's going without me. And now it really is going without me. But that's okay, right? It's not going without you if your model doesn't allow you to participate until something else happens, right? So you're not missing you're missing the move. You're just not participating in this particular move of the NASDAQ right now in this candle. But there'll be another move afterwards, there'll be another move afterwards, and there'll be another move afterwards. It's whether those moves meet your criterion for entering a trade. And this does not yet for me. There's 22 seconds left though. If this pulls back enough, and then has another pullback on the next candle, I may still consider taking a short here. We'll see, and I'll keep you posted. Let's watch this thing unfold now in the next 9 seconds. Let's watch it and see what happens. I'm going to pull up the 1 minute chart too. That can be instructive sometimes. Yeah, not much help there. We would want to see this pull back to the 20 at the very least, right? That's a 20 EMA though, by the way, for those who are new. This is the new candle now on the 10 minute. Looking now for a push down. If this thing pulls back a little bit more, I'm entering now. So when I say entering, I'm not entering. I'm putting a sell stop, as you know, from watching my other videos. So sell stop right here on the flip of this candle body on the blue candle. You see that right there? And it's probably about to do that now. And we're going to go for 15 points. 15 points right here, just based on symmetry. Be a little bit more than a one-to-one trade, and I'm in now. Watching closely, looks like we're going to get stopped out on this one. Not yet. You know what? I'm going to move that up just a little bit. I rarely do that. But I wanted to get a one-to-one ratio here, and I can just see the way this is dancing that we might be able to stay in for this one for the flip down. Let's take a look. You'll rarely see me move my stop like that, but I do it for very specific reasons. And let me show you why too on the 1 minute chart. You see this here? See that wick? It's moved it above that wick. It should have been there in the first place. And if you watch my other videos, you see that's what I typically do. Let's see if we can get this flip. It wants to. But that's that upper wick that we wanted. We actually wanted that on this next candle, right? We wanted a bottom wick on this candle. We want a top wick on this candle. And that makes a much more resourceful structure for us to take a short. And so we entered a little bit early on that one, but this may still work out for us. We'll see. Getting a little push there. Definitely some buying though around these two wicks on the 1 minute candle. Now we'll see if we can get the push down. Just waiting and trusting. Stop, top of current candle, and we're done, guys. That's it. 15 points. Nice quick 15-point trade. And patiently waiting for the optimal setup, right? This is what it comes down to, this whole idea of discipline and the mental game. I encourage you to listen to several times over and over and over again, as a matter of fact, if you can, my mental game playlist, because that really is everything, okay? And I'm happy to send out my my execution on that because I moved my stop. Just want to make sure you know that I did not get stopped out on that because that's where my stop in my account was. And now, guys, that zone is filled. Nothing for me here. We're done for now. I'll come back later if I see another setup and send it out to my Telegram group. You're welcome to join. Have an amazing day if we don't see you later. Otherwise, we'll see you in London tomorrow or New York tomorrow. Thanks for joining me. It's a pleasure having you here. Have an amazing day. Take care.